The OTK, one of the most popular streaming organizations with names such as Mischief and Asmongold, have had a rollercoaster of emotions lately. From members ending up in controversies, new faces joining, and other faces leaving, the org have had a hard time finding stable ground. So, what has happened? Well, to answer this question, we first have to go back to what actually makes the organization special.
We wanted to do something more that gave us the opportunity to hang out more and also to work together more. And so we came up with this idea of making an org and building the org around our friends and building the org around friendship in general.
And that's exactly what they did. Original founder members consisted of S-Fan, Asmongold, Rich Campbell, Tipsout, and Mischief, with NLP LOL who joined shortly after. All of these guys have had connections to one another earlier in their life through one thing: World of Warcraft. The members of OTK were basically faces of WoW. Rich and Aspen, along with their friend Hotted, host one of the most popular WoW podcasts, Allcraft, and the rest were a top 20 WoW streamer on Twitch. Thus they had all of these viewers excited to see the favorite streamers work together on WoW. However, they never streamed WoW together. They surprisingly did a lot of IRL content with each other. They played soccer with human bumper balls, had a Halloween costume competition, and then for Thanksgiving, they put together different challenges and a play.
Sup y'all, it's me. It's your boy, the Great Turkey.
After this first month of content, it was clear that OTK would be just them messing around and having fun, and the fans loved it. I'm embarrassed to say, but this is actually good content. One through kindergarten. This whole sequence, I don't remember the last time I laughed so much, and this streak continued.
We're very excited. We've got a lot of really cool things planned. I think for us, one of the things that we believed for a long time is that the Race to World First is amazing, but it has so much more potential.
A Race to World First is basically which person or group in the community that can beat the new raid first. OTK would stream every day until a winner was crowned, and in meanwhile they would play the game themselves, look at other players, and host the regular OTK events. And the first day was a massive success, they peaked for under 30,000 viewers. However, the remaining days weren't as well received from their fans. OTK had a hard time identifying if this was a Race to World's First stream or just OTK doing OTK stuff stream. The event was labeled OTK Race to World's First Roundtable, hence viewers expected it to mainly focus on WoW and not Mischief Fun Wrestling and playing Deal or No Deal. The event was also streamed on Asmongold's channel, whose streams consist of 80% WoW gameplay, thus also bringing in more WoW interested viewers. But the ultimate nail in coffin was when they finished the event before the actual race was over. This was most likely because the next day was Christmas and they didn't want the crew to work, but on the other hand, this established that the race weren't the main objective, making the WoW fans bringing out torches and pitchforks. However, even though the viewers thought the event had its flaws, they really enjoyed the game shows they hosted, and OTK took note of this. The following year they announced OTK Spelling Bee and OTK School, which was basically a showcase how stupid streamers are.
Elementary school today. This is a joke.
Thank
What is
God. Okay.
plus 2? The answer is 4. Okay, Andrea, what the hell is that?
I actually didn't know we're supposed to write our answer on the whiteboard.
And this show was a hit. They got some of the biggest streamers on the platform to participate, and they also included a plugin so chat could write their own answers to see if they're smarter than a streamer. So the success of this show and the sign of Yeashlet, I get it really likes to watch TikToks, there's no surprise that they were the most watched streaming organization in July 2021. They managed to beat both Luminosity Gaming and TSM that has double and 5 times more streamers on their team, which is just impressive. OTK has found a niche, had the structure of a game show and not being afraid to go off the race with it.
Not only that, you will be...
It's a unisex jail.
No, you're out of jail.
We're progressive.
You're out.
And eventually streamers such as Emery and Tecton got added to the team, as well as Soda Pop, Seer and Bruce dropped them off. And now we're back to the beginning of this video. So what happens next? Accusations. Everything started from this tweet from Asmongold. This tweet is about Slicker, a streamer that loaned a lot of money for his friends so he can gamble. However, this conversation quickly became why gambling is bad for the platform, leading to Trainwreck, one of the most prominent gambling streamers, joining in. Train of course wanted to defend gambling, and Mischief thought it was a good idea to chip in this comment. If you're going to deplatform someone for scamming others, shouldn't we have banned you for Yoltcoin a few years back? Yoltcoin may have scammed cryptocurrency that Trainwreck most likely want to stay buried, leashed out the Mischief saying, "Are you going to send Maya and Mish to railroad and blackmail me like you did those girls to give up all those sexual assaults?" He also ran an uptick tweet by saying some nice things about Mischief, and the things Train said were true. Adriana Lee, the person that Train was referring to, was sexually assaulted.
Was at a party, fell asleep, got touched by Crazy Slick. He was, quote, checking my pulse by touching my neck and chest area. Were my good friends, and they said, please get away from her. You don't need to do that. He left the room, came back multiple times, had to be told not to touch me multiple times.
Crazy Slick was a former roommate of Mischief. An allegation was that Mischief, along with others, tried to cover up the story. Thus Mischief became inactive in OTK, and a large private investigation to find out more evidence. And on top of that, this old clip from Mischief came to light.
What you can deem of it, it's sexual harassment, whatever.
at a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit and really cared.
It was also followed up by Ice Poseidon leaking DMs of Miskiff saying a lot of slurs. And why did Ice do that? Well, nobody knows. Anyways, Miskiff was in deep water, and it did make the situation better when he returned a month later. Miskiff didn't want to say what was happening since XQC and Hassan watched the stream.
A BO36.
That's what CB.
So, to stall for time, he played Super Mario 64 and scrolled for Reddit. My biggest takeaway from this is that orgs needs an HR department so they can deal with these situations, because content creators aren't qualified to deal with this. He doesn't even regret what they did, and he's just milking it so it benefits him. It was later revealed that Miskiff couldn't say anything because of the ongoing investigation. But he could have said that in the beginning of the stream, and everyone would be fine with it. Mr. realized that this stream was horrendous, and he later apologized for it.
I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, and now that the investigation is over, I would like to address my embarrassing comeback stream in October. My behavior on that stream was absolutely unacceptable. I communicated almost everything terribly, and I was completely tone deaf to such a serious situation. And I'm so sorry for how I acted. It was completely insensitive.
As Miz said, the lawsuit was over and it was cleared. However, OTK didn't let him get involved in the organization for a while, just a little slap on the wrist. However, the slap on the wrist became a boxing glove from Yeishlat following this statement. We mutually agreed that in order for him to fulfill his goals for the next year and beyond, we will be parting ways. Yeishlat was basically OTK's YouTube channel, having his face in the thumbnail in 13 out of 16 of the most popular videos. Tips out and said that Yeishlat is one of the most amazing creators he has worked with, and is gonna impress everyone with his videos this year, watching more TikToks. Slat apparently left because he wanted to focus on his own plans, but the community isn't really on the same page. Yeishlat was early in Lunch Club, another content group that streamed and made YouTube videos. However, this group was disbanded in the end of 2020 because of COVID. But in January 2021, it was revealed that Carson, one of the members, was 16 minors, which was probably the actual reason Lunch Club was disbanded. So when Miskiff ended up in a controversy, Yeishlat most likely wanted to leave before a storm broke out, like the one that happened with Rich. Rich got kicked out of the company after sexually assaulting a woman. I'm not going to read this out right now because it's really messed up, but if you want to read about it, then just Google it. So the end of 2022 was a rough period for OTK, and the start of 2023 weren't better. Bruce Droponoff decided to leave the organization, but if you ask me, this was expected. Bruce didn't really participate in OTK events after he was signed. He did show up for the shareholder meeting, but that was basically to announce him joining the org to begin with, and OTK Games Expo. He didn't participate in Loot Goblin Season 2, where they had 32 streamers participating, and not in any of the OTK's YouTube videos after his announcement. There was also this weird dynamic between audiences. Since Bruce was a part of the OTK, but at the same time hung out with people like Kai Senat and Yorush Gaming, he was hanging out with two way different communities, thus naturally not making him feel as a core member in either groups. Either way, a lost member that had 450,000 watch hours last month is still a huge loss for the OTK. So with this trend of controversies and members leaving, OTK are falling off this throne. Or are they? I mean, there's no doubt that they're less popular now than they were in 2021, but this could be because they recycle content. Having Season 2 of both School and Loot Goblins doesn't seem as innovating as hosting a new show, but this year there are more things prepared. Recently OTK hosted a shareholder meeting where they basically announced a Marvel timeline for the first half of this year, consisting of new and old shows. And they're also once again nominated for the best stream organization for the Stream Awards, so I think the tides are turning. Anyways, that is all I had to say. Subscribe if you're enjoyed, and Leo, out.